Hello everyone, I'm Sylvie Silver. Now, to give you an idea of the challenges some people face, imagine this. The room you're in now, it's a nice place. It's warm, well lit, and you've got access to toilets, etc. And someone will bring you food 3 times a day. The only problem is, you can't leave until the middle of next week. How would you feel about that? Okay, let's make it more challenging. How would you feel if you also had to spend that week just sitting around on the same chair? There's been some interesting research into how people behave when strangers are forced to stay in each other's company for extended periods. On the first day or 2, people get to know each other. They figure out who they're happy to sit with, who they don't mind sitting with, and who they're not too keen on. On the 3rd and 4th day, they try to find things to do to keep their minds occupied. And then on the 5th day,
I'm sick of it.
They start fighting with each other. On the 6th and 7th days, you know what they do? They start to withdraw into their own bubble. Now, on top of that, if you add on the physical effects of ageing, frailty, the loss of mobility and independence, along with confusion, depression and dementia, you're on a very difficult journey. And that explains why the importance of genuinely meaningful activity is probably greater than at any other time in your life. Many people see activity as something only the activity organiser selects and arranges, something that's done at a particular time in a particular place. I define activity much more broadly. Activity is everything we do, from the time we wake up in the morning to the time we go to sleep at night. By meaningful, I'm referring to things that help people with dementia blossom and grow, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. It's not about keeping busy just for the sake of it. It's about activities that have significance for that person. To show you how it works, let me ask you a question. What's the one thing, other than a loved one, in your life now that you couldn't live without? Most of us have things that are really important to us. So if we can identify what's important for someone in a care home and make sure they have access to it, it can make a huge difference to their quality of life.
I'm not into crosswords. I'm not into doing puzzles because I think they're boring, but that's me being stupid. I don't really know how to do them.
Knowing people's life history and a little bit about them, being involved with the family and finding out what their likes are can make such a difference. Because if you think about it, if there's things that, say for instance, I like to go out each morning and have perfume on. If I was in a residential home, I would be pretty upset if somebody didn't put perfume on me when I was going to start my day. So I think that it's those little things that can make a huge difference to somebody's day.
Getting up in the morning and having a wash could be just another task. But we can also turn it into a pleasant experience based on the individual's personal preferences. So we've got a person-centred approach. If we know that someone's always enjoyed listening to their favourite programme on Radio 3 in the mornings, let's turn the radio on for that programme. That's activity provision. If someone's always used a bristle brush to shave with, then offer them the option of using that bristle brush for shaving, giving them a chance to look at themselves in the mirror. Now shaving's become an experience, and the mornings already become more meaningful by just having a bristle brush and turning on a radio to a favourite programme. Here's another example, delivering newspapers. It gets done every day. But who distributes them in your care home? The staff or the more mobile residents? Meaning makes life worth living. People need a purpose to live for self-esteem. People with dementia are frequently much more able than we give them credit for. We have to enable people, not disable them. And that might be as simple as picking up the milk jug if that's all they can do. But they should be doing it, because we can so easily disable people by doing things for them. Research tells us that 77% of care staff only have conversations about tasks.
Hello, breakfast ready. Tea time. It's time for lunch. Hi, you ready for your bath?
That's not a conversation. But most people would say a good conversation is just what they need. And a good conversation is the best activity. Put a hat on your head. Become another character. What do you think of that then, Pat? Do you like my hat? Do you remember the days when people never went out without a hat on?
That's right. I like hats.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Do you like this one?
Well, when we used to go to Mass, we always wore a hat. My sister in Canada, she used to wear hats.
A lot?
A lot, yes, when she was in England.
Valuable. It may not... There are lots of objections to leaving things just lying around. Umbrellas? We couldn't have umbrellas. Far too risky. We can't put fresh flowers on the dining table. The residents might eat them. So get edible flowers. Or put a soft ball on the table as a conversation piece. People say, but they'd pick it up and throw it at each other. I say, have a bit of fun. Take the risk of having fun. It's about what I call risk-benefit. This is how it works. You ask yourself, what is the benefit of this activity? For example, what are the benefits of working with the residents to make a fruit salad? There's the activity of actually collecting the ingredients. There's the act of preparing them. And there's the pleasure of smelling, tasting and talking about them. What's the risk? The knife? What's the control? You're there doing it with them. So, what activities do your night staff do? Nothing? But how many people in dementia care are up and mobile at night? There might be quite a few. To remind people it's night, dim the lights, play gentle music, stimulate people's sense of smell, use scents that you only use at night. You could say, let's have a cup of tea and then you go back to bed.
Let's pop you back into bed.
But that's not the only approach there is. So let's lay on gentle, accessible things to do. For example, folding napkins from the laundry. Each of us brings different skills and backgrounds to our work. If the cleaner needs to freshen up the flowers, the cleaner can encourage the resident to join in. They can chat together. They can talk about their own lives and interests. It's about people connecting with people. We're no different from someone living with dementia. We're all part of the same world.
That's the end of this part of the programme. You'll find a summary of all the key points in your participant workbook. The phone lines are open now, so give us a call on 020 8635 0030. And that's for the cost of just a local call wherever you are in the country. And of course, if you do phone in, you'll go into our end of programme draw, giving you a chance to win a £50 gift voucher. Talk to you soon. In the meantime, let's go to Warwickshire to Leamington Spa, where Tracy is at Arden House. Hi Tracy, good afternoon and welcome to the programme.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to speak to you.
Good. Well, what would you like to say, Tracy?
We'd like to ask, I do the activities here, and if it's cold or windy, it's quite difficult to encourage the residents to come out. Have you any ideas for us, please?
Yeah, that's a fairly common one with the British climate, I think, without a doubt. Again, what I would suggest is maybe bringing the outside in on those days. If people really don't want to go outdoors, and you and I don't want to sometimes, do we? We have a sense of not wanting to. Is to go out and gather up the autumn leaves and bring them in. Or to suggest to someone that there's a really specific reason to go out rather than just sit in the garden. Could you come to the post box with me to deliver the letters? I know it's a bit cold and windy today, but we still need to get the post out.
Many of our residents spend a lot of time in bed or in their rooms, and we would like to have some ideas of how we can actually motivate them to spend less time in their rooms.
Many people are quite frightened of becoming part of groups and being forced into social activities, or They'll go once in the early days in a care home, have a poor experience and retreat to their room and not want to come out again. But they're too polite to tell you that, so they'll just say, I'm happy in my chair, thank you. So I think we have to be very careful about early day experiences for residents, to not try and nag them into environments that they may not enjoy, because it can actually demotivate them for a long time. Do you think that might help with some of your residents?
Yes, I think that's some excellent advice.
Great. Well, let us know
Thank
what
you.
the outcome is. We'd really like to hear from you. Great. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we've got for questions and comments today. And if you didn't get a question answered, Sylvie's going to be responding in the following up page of our website, which of course is www.agedcarechannel.co.uk. So, Sylvie, to sum it all up, what's the take-home message?
Well, I think I've got two messages. The key one is activity has to be at the heart of care, and that it cannot be something separate. And the other one is just to have fun, really, enjoy.
Those are both great messages. Sylvie, it's been fantastic having you with us today. Thanks very much. Look forward to talking to you again in the very near future.
Thank you, Michael.
And a very special thanks to the wonderful staff and residents at Ashley House in Hampshire, which is a part of Sanctuary Care, and that's where we filmed today's programme. So until the next time, from me, Michael Garbett, and all of us here at the ACC TV, it's goodbye and take very good care. Goodbye.